My name is Rafael Lima. I'm a Cuban American and I'm an assistant professor at the Communication School, University of Miami. My father and my uncle both could have changed the course of history. Castro's first attempt to overthrow the Batista government was to attack a barracks called Moncada. He was arrested, tried, and he was sentenced to prison. But the pilots that were ordered to fly Fidel Castro at that time to prison in the Isle of Pines was my father and my uncle. They overheard the guards talking about tossing Fidel Castro out of the open door of the airplane. And so my father was given the orders by Batista that he would pay with his own life if Fidel Castro did not make it to the island alive. And so my father and my uncle both went back to the airplane, confronted the guards and said, listen, I overheard what you were saying. I know what you're going to do. If you do that, you'll pay with your life for Castro's life. As a matter of fact, the very prison where Fidel was sent is where he sent my two uncles. And they spent not just 15 months there, but they spent 22 to 23 years in the Isle of Pines prison. During those sort of chaotic days of the revolution, my mother and I, who were the only ones left of the family, would go visit them at La Cabaña prison. We were always led past the corpses of the people that they had just executed, and we would always see a body or two underneath a white tarp. And to my child's mind at that time, I was 7 years old, the body underneath that tarp was always my father or my uncle's. Those images haunted me throughout the 40-some years of my life. I was finally able, after I came back from Los Angeles, to get a travel visa to Cuba to visit those prisons. Now, the Cuban government didn't know that I was going to go visit the prisons. They thought I was going to be there to do a travel story. And I was able to actually get into the prisons. I was able to jump fences, and I was able to sort of just sneak into the prison, these areas that had been cordoned off were 50 years ago, where the dungeon-like cells that these men inhabited. It was the most transformative, horrible experience of my life. Transformative because I was able to sort of give contour and shape to what had been these horrible dreams. And horrible because I was able to suddenly see that the horrible dreams were real. They were true. I have to recognize that there are some things that Fidel did that needed to be done, and some things that didn't need to be done. I think as long as there's breath in his body, he's going to want to be the leader of the Cuban society. I would be the first one on a plane if the Cuban government gave me a visa tomorrow. I would go back. And I wouldn't go there with any ill will. I would go there to help change the future of Cuba for the better.